we are again, viewers, with yet another episode with Father Ronnie D'Souza, who is very kind enough to come in to the studios to answer our questions. We have the situation in the Bible where it talks about a landowner who hires people to work in his field. He hires people right first thing in the morning, then after a couple of hours he hires some more, then after another couple of hours some more, and finally at the end of the day he hires some more, and when the day is over he pays everybody the same sum of money. And Jesus justifies this by saying that is the privilege of the landowner.
Okay.
So what do you think, Father?
Yeah, I think try and understand the parable which you have mentioned again. When when the time came to be paying, he deliberately tells the bailiff, you start paying from the last.
Right.
He could have said, listen, I pay the first person and they go, they've gone away, they don't know what I'm paying to the last person. He wanted everybody to see what he was paying to the last person. And therefore, in other words, you seem to be saying, see, they rightly were angry. Why? Listen, we were working the whole day. This person worked only just an hour and they are getting the same thing. What is? And then the master's word is, remember, this is important. Did we not agree to 1 denarius? Now, what is the context of this? You didn't deserve to work. Meaning to say, it was my privilege to give you work.
Right.
Now, the fact that you got work in the morning, you had that satisfaction. Tonight, me and my family will have a meal and we will be having something. These others, the rest of the day, they may have been waiting for a job. They could not get it. So the persons who came at the end, when they were longing for work. So even if the little they would get, at least we'll get something. And the master wants them to understand everything was generous gift from me. Including the fact that you yourself the fact that you got a job was a gift from me. You didn't deserve, no question of giving. If I need not have given anybody a job. You wanted it, you needed a job. You needed something to pay to get something for your family, and I gave it to you. And we agreed 1 denarius. That was a fair job, fair wage. In fact, a denarius means 1 day's wage. Okay, I'm giving you that much. Now, when he gives to the other, he says, am I not privileged to do what I want with my generosity? I want you to realize, he wants everybody to realize, this is a generous gift. Take it and go in with gratitude. Rather than, why did you give those people more and why did you give? The whole context of it is precisely these people who are prostitutes and sinners, they are coming into the kingdom before all of us. The last will be first and the first will be last was expressed in this very parable itself by the Lord giving the wages. And he wants them to understand everything is gifts. The fact that you got it already from the beginning and you had that solace and complete satisfaction, I've got something tonight I will have with my family, food and this thing, very good. The others, they may have been just grateful even if we get half a day's wages, but we got some job. And the 11th hour people came, maybe we'll get just a little, but scraps. But you'll give it, we'll get it, we are grateful. But he wanted them to say, I am generous with even those people who come last.
But Father,
Yes.
I'm looking at it from the situation as of today, now.
Yes.
If you're such a generous guy,
Yeah.
okay, and you have a lot of money, etc., why can't you give the guy who came first in the morning a little bit more then?
What you said is right, perfectly right, if you're talking about economics of today. Jesus is not talking about it, he's talking about grace, gifts. If you say you have worked, therefore you deserve it, you're right, that is economics. But this is that I've given you the gift of having a job and getting something is my gift to you. And therefore, this is not only this part. There are two other parables which are talking about this precisely gift on the part of the generosity on the part of the person who gives. In other words, God's gift to us. Can you appreciate it? Are you just saying, you should have given me more? Are you looking at it from that point of view? Or you've given me, I'm grateful for a gift.
All right. So there we are. We see sometimes in the old days, or probably even in the modern days, a gift is a gift. And therefore, the one who receives what he didn't deserve is something that the generosity of the landowner, which is Jesus. Sometimes he gives us more than we deserve, though we don't deserve it. And that is the way we should look at it. And therefore, people who pray and know that they can't get a job, they are struggling to get a job, that God will reward them some way or the other and give you a wonderful gift. So keep praying in case you don't have a job, because God is always there. Okay, Father, let's move on to another controversial thing that appears in Luke 14:26.
Yeah.
Where he says, unless you hate father and mother, your wife, and you cannot be my disciple.
Okay. The question, the word hate has to be understood in the right context of it. Unless you love me more than your father and mother and this thing, you cannot be my disciple. Just change that word from hate to love me more than, unless you love me more than your father and mother, you cannot be my disciple. Meaning to say, therefore, who comes first in your life is God. And secondly, your parents and the brothers and sisters, and the other come second. Because really, if you begin to say hate, because there may come a time, the context of it, of Luke is precisely the context of these people were going through a suffering.
Yeah.
And some of them were actually being told, these are Christians. These are Christians. So, and okay, they could deny, I'm not a Christian. No, at this particular time, they were denounced by their parents and the others. And this actually happened during the time of the Roman Empire. They were denounced by the parents, or the parents denounced by the children as being Christian. They could have denied it. Then they would not be the disciples of Jesus. But when they were ready to accept the suffering of them, you cannot be my disciple, you can understand that. Therefore, the word hate is not to be understood in the way we understand it. I really condemn and have it. We are told very clearly, honor your father and mother, the third commandment.
Exactly.
That is very clear about that. What is Jesus saying? Unless you love me, meaning God, more than your father and mother, you cannot be my disciple.
But Father,
Yeah.
in the 10 Commandments,
Yeah.
Jesus has said several times, there are only 2 commandments.
Yes.
Love me and love your neighbor.
Okay, fine.
That's it. So why such strong words are used?
Now, explicitation of that very thing you are talking about. Love me and love your neighbor. But who comes first?
Oh, he didn't say that.
No, but what you quoted, what comes first?
Of course, love God.
Love God, therefore God comes first, right?
All right, if you put it that way, I accept. Yeah. Okay. So there we have it. I think the words sometimes in the Bible
The word hate is
are
not.
a bit strong, and they don't really.
The expression of it is the translation which was given.
Yeah, that's right.
The translation is, unless you love me more than your parents, your father, mother, and mother, you cannot be my disciple. Okay.
So God always has the first place in our lives.
Yes.
He has to have, because He has created us in His own image and likeness.
That's right.
And therefore, we owe Him top priority. Once we love Him, then the second is, of course, our neighbors, our parents, our children, our brothers, sisters, etc., etc. So I think Father has explained it quite clearly, that we shouldn't take this literally, the word hate, but to understand that love God comes top, number one,
Yes.
first. And first means He has got the full privileges to be loved entirely first, and then the rest of the community we live in. Thank you for that, Father. Now, in another controversial statement, In Mark 11:12 to 25, Jesus looks at a fig tree out of season, completely out of season. There is no fruit. And he says, curse that fig tree. And the tree withers on the spot. It is not in season.
Correct.
It is not required to bear fruit.
At that season.
But he says, I curse you.
Okay.
And it withers on the spot.
Yes, it is with us on the spot. Now, don't look at that particular scene itself. Go through just before this. This has happened immediately. This is the whole time. He has just come from Bethany, come to the temple, and he has seen the terrible things that are happening in the temple. He has already driven the people who are buying and selling and all that. And he has told the Pharisees and the scribes, you are the people who are doing all this and allowing this to happen. So you are the people who are a tree but not having any fruit. And he expresses this to his disciples when they are going back to Bethany. He sees the tree. He is fully aware that this is not the season for the tree. But as far as, you may say, as far as the tree is concerned, this poor tree has got withered. But he was using that as an example. As far as Jesus is concerned, with the scribes and the Pharisees, you don't ask when is the time. This is the time I'm coming for my fruit. Are you bearing fruit? They are not bearing fruit. They are going to be rotten. Finish. Go. You're going to be. He is referring to this, what is happening in the temple. So the context has got to be in the light of Mark's gospel. Is just the whole thing is the passion of Jesus, the passion of Jesus, starting with in Bethany, where he went from Bethany. He entered the triumphant entry into Jerusalem, and then he sees all this. In The Chosen, it is very well brought out. Incidentally, if you see the 5th scene, then he comes with a whip and he goes really almost berserk. And they don't understand this, what is happening. They don't understand it. That's the point. The disciples don't understand. What is the context of this? You're really forcing them to kill you. You get the point about it, they say. Now, when they're going back to Bethany, he brings this out. And then they're saying, how do you expect fruit from... And the point about it is when the master asks, there is no question of a season. In season and out of season. When the master demands, you have to be ready. Are the Pharisees and the scribes who are in charge at the moment of the Jewish people, are they ready? Have they brought any fruit? They have not. They have cursed it.
So you heard this loud and clear. I think from what I see, the lesson that Jesus is trying to tell us today, that we may be either churchgoers or we may be, in fact, even parish priests. But if they are doing what Jesus wants them to do, but they are not doing that, then they are not bearing fruit.
Yeah, they are not bearing fruit, true.
And same thing with us. If we know the commandments, we know the parables of Jesus, how he wants us to live our lives, and we are not able to bear fruit, he's going to curse us. He's going to throw us back where we deserve to go. So let us be very, very sure that whatever we do in our lives is according to what Jesus wants us to do. In other words, he says, do my will. What is his will? His will is to serve him, to do good to others, and not to malign ourselves with things that are completely out of the way. What is happening in our society today? Divorces are taking place left, right, and center. People are corrupt to the core. Children are watching porn and making a mess of their lives. Is this what Jesus wants us to do? So he is going to be very heavy-handed with us if we as parents, we as pastors, we as business people are not doing what we are expected to do. So let us be very clear that Jesus is not using words for nothing. He is trying to give us explicit examples of how we should behave and how we should live our lives.
Can I just say
Please, please,
one
Father.
more? Namely, when you had asked this question, look at the context in which that particular passage is taken from. In this particular case, this is all just before his passion, his death and resurrection. So the Paschal mystery, just before the Paschal mystery. So the whole thing has got to be read in the context of it. So the other passages also which you said, look at it in the context of what is the thing, what is Jesus trying to bring out and teach us. Regarding for instance, the question of the paying the wage, he wanted them to understand everything you all are getting is gift. God's gift is not something you deserve. Now, that he is giving it to you, be grateful for that. That's what he wanted them to understand. Even the first ones who are coming here, you are saying, why did he? Be grateful and go back. Don't begin to say, demand, why are you not giving me this much? That's it.
So there we are. Father Ronnie, thank you so much for that. Another question that people keep wondering about is in Matthew 12:31. Jesus speaks about sin against the Holy Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And he says that if you sin against the Holy Spirit, your sin will never be forgiven.
Mm.
How do you understand that?
First, what do you understand by the sin against the Holy Spirit? When I say, not even God can forgive me. See, if I've done something, whatever I've done, not even God can forgive me. This is a sin against the Holy Spirit. That means the Spirit within me is telling me God can forgive you. But I'm saying not even God can forgive me. Because why? Because I have such a great thing. So you are talking about, in other words, there is a power which is beyond God who can do this. So within yourself already you're closing up the very grace which can come to you, and you're saying not even God can forgive me. A thing like that. Now when you're denying the very, should I say, openness to God's feeling, love, which can come to you, you're denying it. So you're saying that it's impossible for God to forgive me, precisely. So impossible. You made it impossible. Not that God has made it impossible. You've just blocked the very fact that God's power can come and heal you and forgive you. No, I deny it. So this is a sin against the Holy Spirit. It's the very denial of God's power to help you to be conquering evil or doing whatever is good. You're denying that, and if you are denying that, God He will not force you. He will not force you.
So in other words, what you're saying, Father, if I've understood you correctly, is I know something is wrong,
Yeah.
and yet I do it. Is that what it is?
No. See, sometimes we do make mistakes. We do make wrong things. I don't deny that. Maybe I have done something. I know this is wrong. I have done it. But I can ask for forgiveness. But if I start with not even God can forgive me, I have denied the very fact that God's grace is able to give me and forgive me. I have cut it out. I just blocked it. I'm saying not even God can forgive me.
So in other words, if I have again, saying it again, that I am a great, great sinner. Okay? But I know that in my heart of hearts, that if I am sorry for what I have done,
yes,
I will go back just like the prodigal son and says, Father, I'm sorry, please forgive me. And the Father will welcome us with open arms.
This is believing in grace. But if I start with, what I have done, not even God can forgive me. In other words, I have no faith in the fact that God can forgive me. I've done such a bad thing. Now I'm saying that, in other words, God's power is impossible to penetrate, not because God's power is not possible, but I have closed up. I have closed up.
So I think it is very clear cut here that with God, nothing is impossible.
Yeah.
Nothing. And therefore, however much you have done evil, however much you have done, if you are sorry, and really sorry, then God will accept you with open arms. And that has to be clearly understood, because there is no sin on earth that God will not forgive. Nothing.
But if you deny the fact that God can forgive,
Absolutely.
that's
So you cannot deny it. You cannot judge for yourself about yourself. It's wrong. So go to Him, but be first truly, truly sorry, and then God will accept you with open arms, and everything will be. There's no such thing as that. The Holy Spirit will not forgive. It is to be understood, be forgiven. Okay, Father, I want to go one last point for this evening. Is that the charismatic group has shown us many things in our faith, in the Catholic faith, that we never knew about before. For example, we talk about speaking in tongues and getting inspiration from the Holy Spirit, what to do, what not to do, etc. Can you please elaborate as to what is this belief about praying in tongues, and is it more powerful than normal prayer, or is it supposed to be greater than normal prayer? You have to speak in tongues, is better understood by God. What is it all about?
See, if you understand, God listens to prayer. Okay, first this thing, and you are open to. Now, can you understand that maybe there are times when I don't know how to pray? Meaning, I want to pray, I would like to say, you can be saying the same prayers which I say every day and all that, but I want to cry out to God. Okay. Now, look at it as a little child there in before the parents, they're making all sorts of noises and sounds. The mother and father looking at the child, they are enjoying this. There is tremendous communication. What is he talking for an outsider? What is he talking? He is talking gibberish nonsense, he will say. The others will say. For you it is not. They are talking, he is talking love, and I am talking love to my child. If you understand God is a father there, when I am just babbling, I don't know what to say, then God, I am allowing the Holy Spirit to use my lips and my tongue to say whatever the Lord will, whatever I am allowing Him. And He will say it. And that's what I am saying. When you will come to the second point after, but when you I do not know what is the meaning of these words, but my intention in my heart, I want to be praising God, I want to begging of God to be healing me and protecting me. This is what. Now, if you understand this, I believe everyone has can receive the gift of tongues. Everyone. It is not privilege of some people, as you say, from the charismatic. People in the renewal have been initiated into it. The others have not been initiated into it. We have not been initiated into it from our childhood. When our parents and all, they told us how to pray. They told us the prayers, they explained the prayer. But they have not told us to be spontaneous in being able to pray and all that. At least I'm talking about myself at least. I've been not, learning spontaneously talking to Jesus and all that. And they never gave us an example, and when you were saying that mama dada whatever it is, you were saying for the parent it was communication of love, and you were communicating, the child and the parent are the same way you are speaking to God. And I believe this personally. Therefore, from that point of view, when I don't know how to pray, now give you my example as a priest. I am counseling somebody, I am hearing his side, his or her side. He has talked to me about a problem he has with his family and everything. I have not heard the other side. The other person, his spouse or her husband. I have not heard the other person's side. I only have listened to your side of it, and I believe this part of it. So I can pray, I'll be praying focused on your side, right? Now I am not sure about that, whether this is the right thing or not. When I ask the Holy Spirit to enlighten me what to do, I pray in tongues. You know what is best for both of them. I pray for that. Now this is something which I have found very helpful for me. Because I tell the person, I'm going to pray in tongues because I don't know. I will be praying otherwise, you have said this and according to you, okay, you are the great saint and the other person is the devil. I am just giving an exaggerating. But I don't know the facts. The full fact. But I can understand there has been a problem. There has been a problem. I want to listen to it. And I want, Lord, give me the grace, and I pray for that intention. So I pray in tongues. That's it.
And as a priest,
Yes.
when you do that, do you get the answer?
No question of an answer. I am prayed for the person, and I say I am prayed for you and your family.
Okay.
No, and I believe if you wanted the question of trying to somehow reach you, when the person has come back, Father, there was something, it was helpful. It is helpful what I was saying. I went back at home, the atmosphere was different. Okay, fine. I believe that.
Okay. So, are we clear about what Father Ronnie has just explained? I think the way I have understood what Father said is that if we are in a situation where we do not know how to handle the problem, all we have to do is pray to the Holy Spirit, and He will give us the interpretation that is right and how we should look at it. Now, talking in tongues is absolute gibberish because you don't understand what the person is saying or doing.
Right.
And therefore, but the person who is praying knows that his prayers are answered because, as Father rightly pointed out, when he goes back home, he finds suddenly the thing is quite normal. Everybody is cheerful, happy. Not like before he went. Before he went, everybody was up in arms or kind of thing. But after that, that means the Holy Spirit has worked in His own miraculous way. This is the way I understand it. And I'm asking Father to clarify whether I got it right.
Well, I think so. Maybe you overstepped, should I call it that? Because we talk about the gift of tongues is meant for everybody. Now, I spoke to you as a priest for enlightenment when I'm praying over somebody. I'm talking about normal person. He wants to start his prayer. He's really worried about a lot of things and all that. Lord, what I'm... So I don't feel like praying. I don't feel like saying the rosary. I don't feel like saying... All right, can you just cry out to God? Let the Holy Spirit use your tongue and your lips to begin to say anything, whatever words come, whatever sound come. But your intention is, Lord, I am praying to you. I am begging of you for help. Fine. Whether the answer comes or not, I definitely will tell you this much. They give me peace at the end. Now this is prayer.
Oh, there you are. You got the absolute clear definition from Father. And therefore, you and I must go often to the practice of praying in tongues.
Yes.
And accepting that we are sinners.
Babies.
And we do not know sometimes how to pray, how to seek His wisdom, seek His love, seek His guidance. And all we have to do is say, I surrender.
I am a child before you. I am a child before you. I cry out.
So once again, thank you very much, Father Ronnie. And if you have any questions from the Bible or anything that is troubling you about our faith, feel free to send your questions and we will tackle it in the next session. So thank you very much.